going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We are in Warframe. Just gonna run a void defense mission back here, the Fisher mission. Um, as a little bit of fun in the background while we talk a bit here. So probably not going to talk this whole time. I've got some things I want to talk about, and then I'll let everybody else enjoy a little bit of the actual end list that's now back into the game, if you will, and feels pretty good. Realize that I have not covered the new tile set and the new quest yet and all that stuff, and I've kind of been holding off on all that. One, because there was a couple bugs, which I've mentioned in the prior videos, and two, because there's so much of this other content to talk about and go through that's what I would consider like non-spoiler for the quest and whatnot. That, you know me, I want to go through all that and get all that out there and kind of talk about those things, because those are really, at the end of it, one of the big changes in the game. Things like this endless void, if you will. Now, I'm playing with these 3 new weapons. I'm still going through them. So they're not fully modded, they're not formatted, they're not all set up yet, but I'm still gonna have fun, and I've been enjoying them. I mean, they've been great. The new Czar, interestingly enough, I've had a couple of comments that people are going to go back to their Toncore instead of playing the Czar, and I think that's basically because you can't kill yourself with the Toncore. So, you know, whatever. I like the Czar. Okay, I can kill myself. It's gonna happen. I like to say that I have enough skill that for the most part I'm not gonna kill myself, but sometimes it'll happen, and hell, it happens. We can't all be perfect. Though, you know, usually I am. You know what I'm saying? But so I swapped up a couple things on my Oberon a little bit too, to offset that, and I realized that I really don't run much more than I really don't run too much on Oberon anymore in terms of like power mods and stuff. Most of the stuff is utility based, I guess you could call, these days when I looked at my last setup here. So that's kind of interesting to me. However, so the new, as I rant around here, the new endless, if you will, it's back, right? So in a way, it's back. So far, and mostly just running pretty much public missions. Okay, I've been averaging in the void 15 to 20 minutes, or 15 to 20 rounds, and then in like general play, I've been averaging about 25 to 30, and that's just with random groups of people that we just randomly go that long. And it's nice to have that happen. It's nice to just drop in a new relic, whatever. I've got so many relics, it's insane. So it's nice to be able to go longer. You know, you get more traces, you get chance for more rewards. Yeah, it's not entirely like the old void system, you know, where it's one key and you just keep going. Okay, so you use more than one relic. It's actually not that horrible in terms of how it is when you're using it and playing it. It just feels nice to have the long term out of it and be able to get the extra little buffs that come up that I mentioned in my overview. You know, but yeah, I mean, in general, like with just regular pickups, public groups, I'm finding that people are now going longer, which is a nice thing. Defense missions, survival missions. I haven't tried interceptions or extractions or excavations, but it's nice to be able to get in there and know you're just not going to go in and out in 5 minutes, especially on things like the relic runs. So that's something nice. And the whole system, how it works now, as you'll see in this video, basically the mission comes to that point, let's say in the defense, you know, 5 minutes, you pick up your first reward, then it puts you on the next screen of do you want to continue, then you go to the next screen of picking your new Fisher or relic that you want to use, and then you start playing again. So it's a nice little thing. It's like 20 seconds in between on picking your relics. At least you have a moment to pick your relic. And then you continue. And like I said, so far it's been moving smooth. Everything's been fun. It adds a lot more, how do I put it? It feels more friendly again, if you will, I guess, if that's the way of saying it. I mean, you'll see there's conversations going on in this video. Hello to everybody that was in the mission. Thanks for running it, guys. I appreciate it. So I'm liking the way it is. It's not perfect by any means. You know, you're still utilizing more relics than the old way of just one key. But overall, not too horrible. Time will tell as you start to run low on relics, but you know, overall, not too bad. In terms of like the new weapons, I know that the latest video that I put out where I was talking about them being OP, and some basic modding, I find it interesting about how many people actually disliked it, and I think it's just people misunderstanding. And then I start to get comments about people telling me that, you know, the weapons are not viable in endgame, and so let's get into that. There is no endgame. There is no true endgame, no matter what you want to say. The only endgame that's in Warframe is been decided by the players, and nobody is going to tell me what endgame is just because you think you're better than everybody else, or because you do something that somebody else doesn't care to do. Hey, I've got nothing to prove to anybody. I've done it through the years. I've shown that I'm perfectly capable of running missions as long as I feel like, using whatever weapons and frames that I feel like, and breaking the standard statements of what you have to do. And I've got nothing to prove, and I really don't care. You can say whatever you want to me. Nothing you say, nothing you tell me that I have to build something a certain way, or it's not good because it doesn't have this or doesn't have that, doesn't affect me. It's not going to change the way I play. It's not going to change my style. I know what works for me. I know what I enjoy. I know where I feel like going. I don't feel like spending 2 or 3 hours on a mission. That's not me. And if I'm going to spend that long on a mission, it'll be, you know, on one of those new missions that are out there. One of the new ones that take nice long time other than endless. You know, but I have no... And if I want to, I could. Perfectly could. I wouldn't even change my setups. I would just go run in and do it. Because honestly, for me, I've been playing so long, it's more about skill than about the freaking mods that are out there. No, I don't use corrosive projection. Never have. It always just sits there. Not a big thing. I know, oh yeah, 4 CPs plus this plus that, blah blah blah. You know what? Anyone can play anything the way they want to play it. When I post things about mods and ideas and showing you how insane, you know, basic raw damage can be on certain weapons, just ideas. I'm not telling you you have to do it a certain way. And I'm sick and tired of people telling me throughout the years that I have to play it a certain way, otherwise it's not endgame. And if it doesn't have these particular stats, it's not viable for endgame. For an endgame that players have decided to make up their own terms of what is considered endgame. Right now, we're seeing a separation with this update of what would be considered, you know, higher level progressed content. Okay, and that's nice. So in order to get to the sortie missions, you now have to pretty much have done everything up through the War Within. That's nice. So we're content locking higher level content. New mod systems, the Riven mods. There's some great positives. There's some huge negatives to many weapons. So there's definite trade-off. I know people are complaining about that. I'm not going to really talk about them too much. We'll cover that in the later videos. I think it's an interesting system. Balanced, I don't know. I mean, really, what do you call balanced? What do you call power creep? You really can't call that in this game. Yeah, you can say these weapons are more powerful than the previous weapons, which are more powerful than the previous weapons before that. And sometimes we get a rare weapon in there that's less powerful but more fun. But we're in a player versus environment game. We're in a co-op game, and I'm not considering PvP because that's a minor part of this game for me. This game was not developed around PvP, and it, you know, it's there, but that's not the majority of this game. That's not what this game is based around. It's there, but in terms of PvE, you can't really say power creep. I know I've talked about it once or twice before, and sure, it's a big difference when you say you have the Broken War and then you get the Nakata Prime, and the thing is just, you know, so much more powerful than the Broken War, but that doesn't mean anything other than, sure, there's more numbers, it's higher, it's whatever. It's a newer weapon, that's what it is. But we can't call that power creep in a player versus environment co-op game, because it's not. Now, yeah, player versus player only game, sure thing. Then we have some issues, but in this case we don't. Anyway, endgame doesn't exist yet, but I'm liking the changes. So we've got syndicate weapons that are mastery ranked. You're getting new content that requires you to go through a particular preset of things in order to get to it, which is a nice thing. So you're kind of starting to define the difference of levels based on the players, where you have your early game content, you have your mid game content, you have your, right now, just what I would consider higher level content, but not end game content. Eventually, if we can see a big enough split between them, if we see mastery locks, if they're going to do that, these new mods are mastery locked. New weapons that are out there, syndicate weapons are mastery locked. If we see things that are mastery locked, kind of starting to span in between a little bit more than what it's been there, and it's starting to show up that way, then we can start determining the differences between what we would consider end game or highest level content. And then eventually I would think that we would get to the point where there would be true end game type of content, where you have to have a fully maxed set of, whatever. I mean, maxed out beyond belief. You can't max it anymore. 8, 10 forma, that type of thing, where you have to do it. But DE or Warframe is not really designed that way. I can do that in other games where my gear is max capped, and there's certain things that I can do to bring up the gear to the next level. And it would be end game style. But in this game, it's not really that way, because even at that max level, I can still do so much to my own personal taste. I apologize, I had a coughing fit there. So, there is that. But I'm liking the fact that there's now what I'm considering to see a separation in, early, mid, late game, high level game. And I think if they keep doing that, it's not a matter of separating the player base. It's just a matter of having available content for everybody on an even platform, if you will. So they focused on beginning stuff, and a lot of beginning stuff. They focused on a lot of mid-tier stuff. Now, maybe we're seeing a trend here where the focus is going to be on higher level content for a while, and that'll keep long-term players playing more and getting them more involved again. And that's, they're trying to do that, or at least that's what I'm seeing they're trying to do. There's a ton of other things that are going on in here. I do have a few more videos that I do want to release that are, obviously based off the changes that came into game prior to the new content. And that, again, like I said, I've said it a couple times already, that's just me. I have my own plan out of how I want to deliver content. And for everybody that does follow me and enjoys the content, you guys, you'll get to see pretty much every aspect of the changes. And that's just the way I've always done it, and that's the way it always is. I appreciate some of the people commenting that, I've been playing forever. I'm one of the first content creators, and I should have more views and subs, and that's fine. And I appreciate that, and sure, I would love to, but you know what? I value what I have, and I value everybody that does enjoy the stuff that I have now. And to me, as long as I get value out of that, more people can come. People come and go. Kind of like in the game, people come and go. I'm seeing a lot of people on the forums, writing up, "Oh, well, I'm done with this game. If I've gotta do these particular prerequisites before I can go back to playing what I was playing before, that's unfair. How dare you? I quit." Blah blah blah. I'm like, really? And the majority of it is, if I've got to do the set in the junction stuff, or I've done that over and over and over, why do I have to do that again? Dude, just suck it up. Yeah, it sucks a little bit, but there's a progression thing there for a reason. Suck it up, do it. It doesn't take that long to get it done. and then move on. But really, the reality is, if you're sitting there finding something stupid like that to bitch about, and I'm telling you, it's stupid, extremely stupid, that you're not going to do a couple of minor prerequisites to get to the higher level stuff again, um, then you know what? You've already finished the game. You're already done with it. You're just trying to make up excuses. And you're just really making yourself look like an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to put that. But if I'm going to come to a game and I'm going to complain to you that I'm not going to play this game anymore, I'm done with it because I won't do 3 things in a prerequisite to get back to the content that I was playing, then you're done with the game. It's over for you. Really, you should just walk away. When people get up on there, and I've always seen it in so many games, when they go to quit, they think they can make a big deal out of quitting. Oh, you know, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And they always come up with something really, really stupid. A dumbest ass reason for quitting the game. When in reality, all you have to do is admit to yourself, listen, I've outplayed the game to what I wanted to. I thought that the new stuff would be something that would bring me back and I would enjoy it, but it just didn't happen that way, so I'm done with the game. Okay, fine. We get it. You don't have to trash it. It's just interesting thinking, let me come out here and be totally negative against it because that makes me feel better. And then I'll leave. And why don't you look at how many hours you spent on the game and tell me that you did not enjoy any aspect of it? If you put that much time into it, you didn't get any enjoyment out of it at all. Go figure. Whatever. Anyway, so there's that. That's just so much to laugh at and be, And I've made a few comments on the forums from people that have been, actively saying that they're quitting and they can't deal with this and blah blah blah. And I'm so disappointed. Okay, so leave. Go away. I mean, you've had your time. It's that simple. It's like every other game. I don't know how many times I've explained to it. You get to a point where physically you just don't want to play the game anymore. Your body, your mind's not into it anymore. And you need to do something else. It's going to happen. Everybody will go through that cycle. Now, when we look at these new things like the Valkyrie Prime stuff, that I posted up, and I think it's out of the game now. You can't look for it anymore. They patched that out pretty quick. But when you look at that, sure, you get a little disappointed about it's going to be Valkyrie Prime over Banshee Prime, but the reality is Valkyrie Prime is more used, so DE is going to make more money off of it at the holiday season, similar to what they did last year with Nova Prime, where Nova Prime came out before Trinity Prime, because Trinity Prime is barely used compared to Nova Prime, so let's go ahead and put her out there, and we're going to make a lot of money off of Prime Access, because in the end, the game does need to make money, regardless of how you admit to it. It is a free-to-play game, but they do need to make money, and so there are definitely going to be marketing tactics, and say, we're going to put Valkyrie Prime out first, and these items, because we know that we're going to make money off of it. And hey, let's go ahead and leak it into game, see who catches it, and then we'll take it out of the game. Because I bet you they did that purposely. They leaked it into the game just long enough for a few people to catch on to it, see it, and then they'll pull it out. And now they've got their free advertisement off of what is coming up. And it happens. I think the new stuff looks pretty good. Will I get Prime Access? I don't know. I mean, I haven't bought Prime Access for the last 4 or 5. And I haven't even bought the Prime accessories. I've just been more into grinding and farming for the stuff. And eventually I'll get it all. And that's where I'm at with it. Because I don't get a lot of time anymore with my job. Where I'm working so many hours. And then I come home and I've got so much going on with my kids. That, I don't get a lot of playtime. So when I do, I want to go in there and try to enjoy myself. And if that seems weird, sometimes a little bit of the grind is actually very enjoyable. And if I want to get something, I know I can easily trade. I can easily talk to anyone in my clan. We can trade something quick. I can go on trade chat or whatever, and I can get an item. I mean, if I want to. But, I'm at that level. I'm at Mastery 22. I could be Mastery 23 if I want to to be. That means I just got to farm a couple new things out. But it's not like I have to be there. There's what does that do? That gives me a little bit more modding capacity when I reform my weapon at this point, and a little bit more syndicate rep when I'm higher level. Another 1,000 points that I can max in a day. So, eventually I'll get there, and that's just over time. But I'm definitely enjoying a lot of the new stuff. I am really liking these new weapons. I've got a lot to do in terms of how to set them up, put them together for my personal taste again. But the Tsar is just fun. I immediately thought Tonkor, but the fact that it's kind of a rifle, it's also a cannon, and I can kill myself if I'm dumb enough to shoot it at the wrong time if I'm not thinking about it. And that adds a challenge to the game. So there's a trade-off to the new powerful content, having a trade-off of you can actually kill yourself versus having weapons where you can do the same type of damage and you can't kill yourself. Whatever. Some people enjoy the challenge. Some people can't handle the challenge. I get it. I understand. No biggie to me. But so far, I've been pretty happy with what's going on in terms of the changes. Like I said, I've got a couple other things I want to talk about, and we'll definitely get into all this new stuff. I'm really looking forward to playing in the new tile set and doing some stuff in there. But, all in time, right? There's no need to rush into it. Everybody's rushing into it. Everybody's covering that new content. So no biggie to me. It's not like, oh, God, I got to get it out there because I'm not going to get any views if I don't get it out there where, whatever. I play my way, you play your way, right? I mean, people focus on the stuff that was coming out in PAX Australia. I focused on other stuff that was available at the time or was coming out at the time. And I'm different than everybody else. Just the way it is. I've always been that way. So I appreciate everybody that does stick by and follow and watch and do all that stuff and comments. And I want to thank everybody that did comment on the colorblind post video that I made. It has helped out a few people with changing some of their game settings and doing a couple things in order to get through certain parts of the missions that they were having difficulty with in terms of the new quest that's out there. So I thank everybody that did get up and do that. I know it's a tough topic. I know there's a lot of different levels of being colorblind, and I know the DE does try to do the best they can, and sometimes certain things can't be 100% addressed. So for you guys that came out and offered some ideas and some guidance in that respect, thank you very much. Much appreciated that. And that's what makes this game so good, is that there are, we have the toxicity players, and it doesn't really help, but I think overall we have a much stronger group of players, community, that can overpower that and come together in the time that they need to come together. Now, with that said, I'm going to stop rambling. I got so many other things to still get together for you guys. And it's Sunday already for me, and that means that I don't have much time left to get a whole bunch of videos put together. And I got a whole bunch of things to still get done for my regular life of things to do today. So let me get out of here. Enjoy the rest of this. If you guys have comments, questions as well, always, feel free to leave them. Like, subscribe, all that good jazz. If you feel like it, it is what it is. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you enjoy.
Replacements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Very impressive, Tenno. You held them all back. Time to get out of here.